Today on Inside Edge, Coach Spivey will discuss the high school baseball player recruiting process and issues and concerns that U.S. parents or athletes may be facing today. And now, the Inside Edge.
Are you ready?
There's no crying in baseball!
Think you can tell us what to do?
Alrighty then.
Think you can tell us what to wear?
Alright.
Think that you're better?
Just a bit outside.
You can't handle the truth!
And here we go.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to an edition of Inside Edge. Inside Edge, a Performance Edge production. Hey, this is our first shot at this, right? And we've got a lot of ideas kind of coming your way as we get ready to transition into a new facility here in a few months. Transition into a new company, you may say, from Performance Edge to Ball IT. Absolutely fired up. And one of the biggest things that we're working on is bringing you more material, more education, because I know you guys are looking for that. You're looking for that resource, and a lot of times we are. So looking to organize it a little bit better and be able to come to you, come to your phones, come to your living rooms, wherever it is. We probably won't physically visit, but we can do it through things like this, podcasts, sending out videos, being a little bit more educational and giving it. We get a lot of questions from parents all the time. I get a lot of text messages, a lot of phone calls. So this can be a resource for us to be able to reach out to you. I can't answer them all in every single podcast or every single episode, but we'll get to the ones that we think kind of relate to the most people. So continue to reach out to us, continue to ask questions. I love it, feedback. I want you guys to get an inside look of what we do. A lot of times the parents aren't here, it's the athletes, and even our own athletes don't understand how much time is spent behind the scenes, how much time we spend talking, working on their numbers, working on their deliveries, what goes on in the office. So I think it's important that you guys understand the time that is spent and why and how and what we're doing and what our focuses are. And again, we just want to continue to be that educational resource for our athletes and for our parents and for the community. So I may be a little biased, but I feel that we do it best and we do it very well here in Houston, and we work hard for that, and we continue to stay progressive. So our job is to continue to reach out to you. And as we go forward, that's what we hope this is. So Inside Edge, slightly different than podcast, just reaching to you. Today, as you heard earlier, I want to talk quickly, kind of the juniors and seniors. I want to talk about the recruiting process. As we're kind of getting into October here, we get into the Christmas and the winter holidays, and we get ready for high school baseball. There's going to be a lot of athletes who have not committed yet. We're coming out of a recruiting, coming out of the summertime, and a lot of athletes are going to still be left without a college. We've dealt with this situation quite a bit, right, over the years. And I would tell you, if you're a college athlete who still doesn't have anywhere to play, you're still looking for somewhere to go, relax, chill. If you're a parent of an athlete who's junior or senior year and we still don't have anywhere to play, take a deep breath. There's a lot of places to play and opportunities. And we're going to walk you through here some processes and ideas and things that you can do to help that process out. The first thing is I want to bring it down. I want to use a comparison here respectfully, right? When looking at these kind of situations, we want to take a very elementary or a common sense approach. And I do not mean disrespect for that, but I am serious. Let's use common sense with this, right? Okay. The example I like to use often is this simple here. If you want to go to a Rice University on academics, you want to study, you want to get a degree from Rice. Rice University is one of the top academic institutions in this country, right? Harvard of the South, they say. That's what they say. If you want to get a degree there, just let alone just being accepted there is an academic standard. There are high school scores that we have to meet. There's SAT scores that we have to meet. If you meet this academic standard, you have a significant opportunity to be accepted into Rice University. And that's a big deal. However, if you do not meet this academic standard, you have a significant opportunity to be declined on admission. It's that simple. It's that black and white usually, right? You're either in or you're not. We need to apply this same concept when we're looking to play college sports. And we'll stay in the baseball realm. We'll stay in our lane here. When we're looking to play college baseball, we need to apply the same simple theory. If you want to go to the University of Texas and you want to play baseball, or A&M or LSU or any JUCO, right? There is an athletic standard there that has to be met, right? If you meet this athletic standard, you have a significant opportunity to play at the University of Texas or A&M or LSU or whatever JUCO you want to. However, if your skill set does not meet the academic standard, you're not going to have the opportunity to play there. And this is very important information. I want you to hold on to this. We're going to come back around what to do with this information here in a minute. But it's really that simple. So I see a lot of times like people are just pushing and pushing and pushing and hoping. But if we understand and we know where our skill set is, two things happen. One, we know what is needed for skill acquisition for where we're headed. But right now, if we're currently looking for college and we are on the clock and we are rolling, like time is not necessarily on our side anymore, we need to understand our skill set and where it plays at. Because this is going to be crucial as far as how we can find a college for us, where we need to go in college placement. Knowing that information is going to help you make decisions of how much money, how much time should we dedicate to training? How much money, how much time should we dedicate to travel baseball? Right, we're going to come back to that. And Matt, I believe you had a stat right now to kind of talk about like average velocities at the D1 level. What do you have?
Yeah, at the D1 level, the average velocity is now up to around 90 miles an hour. And then if you look into like the bigger schools, you know, like the Power 5.
Power 5s?
Yeah, like LSU, for example, it's all the way up to like 94.4 in that.
94.4 miles an hour is the average velocity.
Correct. And then even Tennessee is 93.4.
Wow.
So it's way up there.
That's incredible. That's the average roster velocity.
Correct.
Well, there you go. So there's one standard right there that you guys, yeah, there you go. And so you understand that there are several levels of college baseball here, right? We have D1. So we're talking about D1, four-year university. And basically, we could probably break those into two categories, if not three, but we'll go two categories. You got your Power 5s, your biggest and the best, the biggest conferences, and then you have your mid-majors, right? Mid-major would be like a Sam Houston, something like that, okay? And then you're going to have your D2 and your D3 level. And we're not going to jump into every single level and why, right? But there are different levels of four-year universities. And then you have your NAIA, you have that too. And then we have our JUCO. Again, JUCO, Division I, Division II, Division III. And I don't know if you guys have really watched JUCO ball in Texas, but buddy, it is no joke. There are some dudes that flat out play at that level. I like to say D1 JUCO is Division I baseball, just without the polish. These guys have tools and they're skillsy, right? And they can get out there and play. They're just looking for a little polish and time. So you need to understand. So each one of these levels, D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, Division I, Division II, Division III, they all have a skill set that plays. So to me, we need to understand our skill set and know, hey, where does my skill set play? If I'm 84, 85 right now as a junior or senior, where does my skill set play which one of these levels? Because here's what we can do, right? We can then start to pinpoint the schools that I want to go to. Because to me, there's three important things that you have to do as a parent and as an athlete who wants to play college baseball, right? First of all, we need to know, like we just talked about, where does my skill set play? We need to understand, we need to group these colleges, right? So now let's say, Jordan, we worked on it, where can you play at? And we've got 30 schools. That's a lot of schools, man. That's a lot of campus tours. But we can continue to dwindle down from there. Because next, academics. Where do my academics go, right? Can I be accepted to every one of these schools? What degree do I possibly want? Meaning, if I'm an engineer, I want to be an engineer, I'm probably not going to go to the world's greatest liberal arts school, right? So based off of my skill set, then I go, all right, academically, what are my academic goals from that university? And I start to dwindle that list down. And then lastly, I think it's important for families is finances. Some of these schools are private, right? Not everybody wants to pay $40,000 to $50,000 a year for an education. So we need to be able to budget. And based off of those three categories, you can start to kind of center and direct what we're doing. And the thing I want you guys, or last thing I want you guys to realize before we dive into it is that getting to college baseball is very difficult. We talk about this through social media and everything that we do, that it's this easy process that, oh, everybody's got the opportunity to play. Come on in. If you've got a checkbook, we can do it, right? That's kind of what's happened here. And I want you guys to understand that what we are up against and what our athletes are up against is very difficult.
Yeah, I've actually found a stat about that. And only 10% of high school college athletes go on to play any type of college ball. That's NAIA, JUCO, all the way to D1.
10%.
Just 10%. And
Of
the
all,
guys-
10% of all high school baseball players go on to play at the next level.
Yep.
So if we've got a roster of 20 guys, that means
Two of them.
2 are going to play college baseball. Wow. Okay.
And only 2.2% go on to play NCAA Division I.
2.2% of all high school baseball players go on to play out of high school Division I baseball.
Yep.
Wow. There you go. Yeah, that's kind of shocking, to be honest. Honestly, I thought it would be more, but we need to understand. So it's not to discourage people. I think it's important to understand what we're facing in the battle. Because again, the more information we know, knowledge is key, right? And when we know what we're up against, it lets us make decisions. So let's say we're up against it now here. We're junior year or we're senior year, right? Signing day's coming up here in November. As always, early signing day, and I don't have a school. Now, I'll throw it out there. We had guys this summer who graduated in May who did not have a college to play for until July. And we helped them get to where they needed to be. Now, I'm not going to say this is always the best process. It takes a lot of patience from the parents and the athlete, and everybody has to be on the same page. But there is time. Some of your athletes need time. And for the dads and moms that are listening to this video, I want you to think back to when you were in high school, 16, 17, 18 years old. Not everybody is a grown man when they're 16 years old physically, right? A lot of our guys go off to college at 17, 18 years old, and they come back when they're 20, and they are a grown man. Life kicks in, right? The dad bod kicks in, and they start to grow a little bit, okay? So understand that. Understand that we may have to creep into another level, a lower level. Jordan, I believe it was you you've went to D1 JUCO, then D3 JUCO, then Division I baseball, then Division II baseball.
Yep.
You've basically done the world tour of colleges.
And didn't have anywhere to go out of high school. I was kind of like that. Like, I didn't sign anywhere till summer going into college.
That's right. That's right. And so you just kind of, I got an opportunity. I went and take it, took a red shirt there, and then boom, went to D3, rolled the dice. So that's what I'm saying is like, but who you were as a senior year, your senior year, you went from being this kind of, pushy slap hitter getting on base to 2 years later in college, all of a sudden you're middle of the lineup hitting home runs. You went completely. You grew up, you got bigger, you got stronger. And basically what college does is it allows you to allocate more time to your body and to growth. So that's what I'm telling you, parents, is like, we've got to be able to slow down and get a plan and start to roadmap this. So the first step is understanding your skill set and where you're at. And then once we get that, we start to identify these colleges. Now, the reason why I keep saying that you need to understand it is because we see a lot of guys playing fall baseball. And hey, why are you playing fall baseball? Well, I'm playing to be recruited. Great. I have no problem with that. Again, I want to state it again. For the record, I have no problem with select baseball. I just think there's a time and place for your investment in what you're doing. Same thing with Performance Edge. Same thing with DST. Same thing with Shred Athletics. There's a time and place in what we're doing. And if it matches up your goals and what you're trying to achieve, awesome. If it doesn't, why are we doing it? Right? So when it comes to recruiting, a lot of times you need to keep in mind that maybe some of these schools, when you're traveling outside of the state of Texas, you're traveling these big events. Not all of these D2, D3 NAIA schools or JUCOs have the traveling budget to follow you around the country. And that's very important and key that you understand this. So if we're playing, we're paying people for showcases. If we're playing, we're paying to be recruited. Are the schools that you even, that you fit into? Remember, they hit your skill set. They hit your academic goals. They hit your financial needs. Are they even there recruiting you? Because what I'm noticing a lot of times, it has nothing to do a lot of times with exposure. It has to do with they don't even know who you are. They don't know you exist. So right now I know what's going off in your head. Well, how do I get them to notice me? And it's very simple. Okay? A couple things that you can do is, one, you could reach out to the university, to the college itself. If you go to the website, it's public information. There's a phone number and there's an email that you can reach out to them. Now, if you're going to send him video, which I highly recommend, the way we like to do it is to do something with like Trackman or Rapsodo. We want to send them numbers in it. Now, again, if we're 85, 86, we're not going to send Texas A&M your numbers, right? Because we know that's probably a no, right? But we're going to find the schools and we're going to agree to 5 or 6 schools that meet your skill set, right? They meet your academic goals, and they meet your financial needs. And then we're going to start to reach out to those schools. We're going to directly go to them and let them know that, hey, I am interested in your university. I want to be there, right? I want to be a Hawk, or I want to be a Jackhammer, okay? I want to play for you because I think I can help you win, and here's how. We do not send videos to colleges of me throwing a bullpen without numbers and data, because a bullpen's a bullpen. We can all do it. But if we're 85 and that skill set fits, they need to see it. And you'd be surprised what's coming back around because of everything with COVID and the explosion of travel baseball. What's coming back around are camps, especially these small schools. Yes, you got to pay a small fee, but that's pennies compared to what some of us are paying for monthly in travel anyways. You pay the fee, but before we go, let them know we're coming. Reach out a couple weeks, a couple months in advance. Let them see some video, because again, remember, we're reaching out to schools. We fit their skill set. Okay, they're going to be interested. They're going to be intrigued. We at Performance Edge will also help you with this process. right? Now, I'm not going to reach out and I'm not going to blow smoke and I'm not going to send your numbers to a university that won't allow you to play because we don't have the skill there. But I will reach out, and we have a lot of resources to do that. I've done it for years. I have a lot of contacts. So when we know we're serious and we can have a serious conversation about it, we can start to help funnel everything around and start giving you guidance. Typically, I'm not going to be the one to send the email, but I'll help you organize it where it needs to be. I'll help you gather the data, help you gather the video you need, and then we'll send it all from there. If I need to make a phone call to the coach, I will. A lot of times it helps out, right? Because my job in that time is to sell the athlete. I can sell your athlete on what he's done, how he's been doing it, what kind of person he is, what kind of talent he has, how he trains, and coaches love that. But the first thing we have to do is be able to hit that skill set and understand where we're going, because parents, right, you need to be involved with this as well. Do not sit back and wait. You need to attack this with your athletes, and they need to understand, and you need to help them make these decisions, right? We don't sit back and wait. We go to the college. We go get our opportunity, right? So again, to sum it up, let's understand, let's evaluate, and know where our skill set plays. Now, I'm not saying that our skill set won't continue to grow, but if we're a senior and we're throwing 85, 86, I got to say it. The chances of going 85, 86, right, for most guys to 90, 91, or here we go, Tennessee, right, 93 miles an hour, LSU, 94 miles an hour is very, very slim. It's almost impossible. And it's not because your athlete's not good enough. It's not because it's time, logistics, priorities. But if we can give them the opportunity to play somewhere that they can and they're wanted, that's a big factor in it, right? And it fits all their goals. Hey, the transfer portal's there. You go to a smaller school, you grow up, all of a sudden the velocity comes a little bit more, things start to happen, hit that portal and go. But right now, the most important is that we place your athlete, and guys that are listening, athletes, we place you in a college where you're wanted, you can help the program win, and you continue to grow and develop. That matters. Because college baseball is hard, man. And we need to make sure you're in the right place to succeed. Okay? And we need to go to them. So understanding your skill set, does it meet your academic goals, and does it hit your financial needs? I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out. I hope this helps a lot of you guys out there. And it really does. To me, I like to slow things down and let's put a plan around it. No different than what we do in the training. Build a plan, have a process, adjust the plan as we go. Lastly, I like to sum it up. Couple minutes, kind of what's going on at Performance Edge. I want to remind the athletes, I want to remind the parents that we are now about 3 months and a few days away from high school baseball returning. One of my favorite times of the year. Okay, so let's make sure we get our goals here. Once November 1st gets here, it is time to put the pedal down. And for us, for our pitchers, I know next week we're going to be doing a video review. We're going to be breaking things down, start putting that together. Some final velo pushes here. It's a final, but really kind of putting the pedal down on velocity. And then when we get into November, we start to form it together. December, a lot of bullpens and getting ready to rock and roll. All right, in-season training's a thing. What we do in season is different, but right now it's off-season. We need to grind it. So I'm really hoping a lot of these tournaments are coming to an end because our arms are free. That means we get back in control of our development, what we're doing. It is time to be goals. We are hitting the weight room right now. We are eating, we are sleeping, and all our eyes are on how good can we be by January 24th, 25th, when high school baseball starts, and then by district, and then by the summertime, getting ready to be recruited next year, right? These next 3 months are very important, and we all need to be locked in. Right? Our athletes, your schedules need to be locked in. Your logistics need to be locked in. You need to know when you're lifting, how you're lifting, what you're doing, how it applies. We need to know what we're doing, what changes need to be made. So next week when we're watching videos, right, you guys need to come ready to learn. Bring your notebooks, be a sponge, soak up information, and let's go. And every single day you're working to your goals. Hitters, this is a great time of the year. We're making big adjustments, big gains, understanding what didn't play for me, why I wasn't successful during the summertime and the spring. This is the kind of time we make those big changes, because when December gets here, we start filtering it in. And I know when January gets here, I know Jordan's going to be looking at things like live ABs and preparation and approach. So go out there and be successful. Same thing with a hitter. We don't have to be at our best in January. I like to tell my athletes, we are our best by game 1 of district. Right? So we're going to use the early ons to adjust, but we have got to do it. Hitters, get in the weight room, get on the meal plans, get bigger, get stronger, get the ball to the gap, and that's what's important. Right now, I'm asking you to sacrifice the next 3 months of your time, right? And dedicate it to you and your future and keep going with that. I'm going to tell you, man, September to now in October has been absolutely outstanding at Performance Edge. It has been one of the best training grounds that we've had. And here, so you guys know, we're still looking to get better. How do we get more organized? How do we communicate better? That's constant for us. We want to, and you guys have been doing a great job with that. We love the results, the PRs that are happening right now, but man, we've got to continue to push. And when we get a little taste of it, let's see how far we can push it there. And that's for pitchers and hitters. But weight room, recovery, sleeping, eating, that's still our foundation, and we need to be the best we can. So I know our high school fall league should be coming to an end. Thank God, right? Select ball should be coming to an end. We're about to have a lot of time to make a push right here, and I'm absolutely fired. This is like my favorite time of the year, man. All right, we talk about the summertime and the summer program. It's good, but these next 3 months are the best months of my life because we get to make changes and we get to see kids absolutely get after. So I'm challenging our athletes right now, for our guys that are listening, and you all better be listening. Our athletes, let's see how far we can push it. Come in here motivated and fired up. Take advantage of the time we have. To the parents, I want to say again, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being part of the Performance Edge family. And as we transition to our new facility, we got some great things going on here, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So we appreciate the support. Always reach out to us with your questions. We're going to keep the Inside Edge going. I'll send some information out to you about how often it's going to happen, but we want to start sending you. We want to know what it is that you have questions about, right? Because I understand there's a lot of information. There's a lot of things that you can soak up and drink up out there. We want to give you at least our opinion and as many facts behind it as possible, right? Because at the end of the day, here's what matters. Here at Performance Edge, we're about the individual. We're about your athlete and helping him reach his goals. That's it. That is priority. So anytime we answer your question, it's going to be based for you and your athlete and what's best for him. And what's best for him may be different than anybody else on his team or around you, right? Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys later.